Hello everyone, welcome to Southern Wreaths. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and share my video. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's only $1.99 a month. Today I'm going to show you how I make this Jack Skellington wreath. This wreath is for my personal door. So I am going to use a frame that I've had for a while. This is a 20-inch frame. I don't usually make my wreaths this big because it's so hard to ship them. So I've had this just sitting in here, and I thought, well, since I'm not going to sell it, I can just make it for myself. It does measure 20 inches, so this is going to be a large wreath, but his face is so big, I think it's going to work fine. I got the face, or the sign, from Walmart. I think I'm going to remove this. I haven't decided yet. These are my ribbons, all from Craft Outlet, and my mesh is from Craft Outlet. I do have a couple pipe cleaners for my sign, and I'm going to do the ruffle method. The first thing I did was go through and count my ties. Okay, there's 12 on the outside and 11 on the inside. I don't like having an odd number because it messes up my ribbons, so I'm going to remove one of these. And these are kind of really close together, so I'm going to figure out how to just trim this one away because I don't want an odd number. I think what I'm just going to do is just wrap it around the frame. Yeah, and then I'll just kind of deal with those in a minute. I'm going to use this 21-inch black mesh, and I'm just going to gather it together. This wreath has been used many times, so it's not in the best shape. And of course, ideally, you would want a wreath base that matches the wreath you're making. But one, I don't really care if a little bit of green pops through, and two, I'm going to hide it anyway, so you won't be able to tell. So I am going to use a zip tie to attach it just so it doesn't come undone. I tend to be a little rough with my wreaths, but I'm just attaching it at a zip tie. I mean, at a, I guess, tinsel tie? I think this is what these are called. I can't find my wire cutters, so that'll have to work for now. So just add it with a zip tie and trim everything away. I'm going to do 12-inch poofs. And this is just basic mesh. You can see straight through it. It's just going to give me some height and a little bit of background. I just pull it out to the 12. Lift it up and add it into my tie. Twist one and fluff. And this will of course use more mesh than I normally use because it's a bigger wreath base. But you could make this same wreath idea with the bases I usually show you, the pencil wreath. I've just had this in my craft room for so long, I wanted to use it. Like I said, I do not want to even think about how much it would cost to ship a wreath this big. It would probably cost as much as the wreath. So I'm going to go through and finish adding poofs. I'm at my last poof on the outside. I'm just going to measure it out. And I've pulled the tie around either side so I can just add it on top of the zip tie. And fluff. And now I'm going to push all of these ties out of the way so I don't accidentally grab them. And then I'll open my inside ties. Alright, I'm going to pull the mesh into the closest tie. Just twist it one time just to pull it to the center. And I'm going to keep making my poofs. When I get to my last poof, I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to open that first tie I used to pull the mesh in and add this on top. And that makes my last poof. And I know it looks really odd right now. It's really messy looking. But once I add everything and tuck the ties around, it'll look a lot better. Alright. I'm going to zip tie the excess mesh to the back. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to put it right here on this crossbar. And you could use any size for these wreaths. They have several different sizes. Personally, I don't like to use them because they cost so much more. But some people only like using them, which is fine. Alright, I'm going to trim everything away. And there is my poof base. It is very large. It already measures over 24 inches. I have 22 ties on my wreath, so I'm going to cut 11 of each color. I'm cutting them at 30 inches because I'm only going to put one color in each section. And I just have them overlap just to make it a little bit easier while I'm cutting. Oh. And I'm just going to make the end clean. You could cut your mesh bigger or smaller. It's up to you. And I do like to double it up just because it's easier to cut. So I go to 24, grab it at 0, pull to 6. So that gets me 30 inches. And then I'm going to pull that to the middle and cut. And I'm going to do that 11 times. Here, I'll show you one more time. And then I'm probably going to drop this off over the side in a box just because it's getting on my nerves. It'll be a little bit easier to cut. But there we go. I'm going to do that 11 times. I'll end up with 22 pieces. Alright, I cut all my mesh. Now I'm going to add it to my wreath. I did use pretty much both rolls of 10-inch mesh. So far you'll need a 21-inch roll, almost the whole roll, and 2 10-inch meshes for this size of a wreath. So I am going to ruffle it, and I'm just going to stick my phone on there to hold it down, something heavy. And then I'm just going to gather it in the center. I use these fingers to pull, and then this goes over, and I just do that over and over again, creating my ruffle. And there's my ruffle. It doesn't matter if you start on the outside or inside, but I am going to open my tie to add in my ruffle. That's because these ties, they're really bulky in my opinion, and they're harder to work with. So I just find it easier to open it. Now I'll do a white one where you can actually see it when I put it on there. That black just blended right in. And this white has a white, it's not metallic, it's just a white glossy line running through it. I like this one and the one that has the white cloth. I'll use the iridescent one, but it's not my favorite. I like the solid white a little bit better. Alright, I'm going to open my tie, stick the ruffle in, push it down, make sure it's even, and twist. Then I'll just fluff up my ruffle and fluff it against the one next to it. And there's my ruffles. I'm going to go ahead and go through and finish adding all of my ruffles. Alright, this is what it looks like when I add all my ruffles. Again, it's just getting bigger and bigger. It doesn't even fit in the camera. Big wreath. Now I'm going to cut my ribbons. I don't have enough of this particular ribbon to do the entire wreath. So what I'm going to do is just cut a couple extras of the others and then just kind of mix them together so there won't be like a perfect pattern. And that way I'll have enough to cover everything. So these are the 4 ribbons I'm going to use. This one is almost exactly like Jack's outfit, which is kind of exciting. I am cutting these at 14 inches, and I technically needed 11 of each one. I think I'm only going to be able to get 8 of this one, so I'll just, you know, supplement the rest. This is just under 14 inches. It's like 1/8 of an inch less. And I do that so as I'm wrapping, I'll make them the size I want it to be. So I just roll it around. This is even with the cardboard, and that equals 1 because the way I cut it. But I'm using the whole roll, so technically that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I got, just barely got 8. And I always link the supplies I use in the description below. I also link to all of my social medias, including my Facebook group and how to become a member of my YouTube channel. So you can just be on the lookout for that. I am going to dovetail the ends of all my ribbons, so I just take a stack and fold it in half. And then I'm just going to cut from the crease to from the middle part to the folded part, the crease, at an angle. And I get my dovetails. So I'm going to go through and cut all the ribbon I need, and then I'll stack it together the way I want it. I cut all my ribbons and they are not in any kind of order, which is going to be kind of fun. So I stacked them 2 and 2. Just going to get them as even as I can. Fold them in half and crease them. And then I'll pinch at the crease. And I'll start on the outside, I think. I'm going to open my tie again. Then I'm going to add my ribbon in. Twist it a couple times. And just going to tuck the tinsel behind the ribbon and behind the mesh. So I'm just kind of splitting the mesh apart. And then I will fluff. You can see a little bit of green, but I am really not worried about that because this is a Halloween wreath and green works just fine with Halloween. So I'm going to show you how to do that again. And I can actually fluff them to where you won't be able to see it once I get it on my door. So I'm going to swap these out. Fold it in half, crease it, and then pinch it 3 times. Open my tie. Add in my ribbon, twist 3 times. As I know it's hard to see, but I'm going to take this and stick it towards the back. Then put my ribbon over, my mesh back over top and fluff my ribbons. And here I'll do one on top so maybe you can see it a little bit better. After I open my tie and place my ribbon in, twist 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to pull the mesh apart where I have the ruffle, tuck all of it around to the back, add my mesh back over top, and then I'll fluff my ribbon. Then once I'm done, I can always kind of bend my ribbon up to where it can kind of cover it up. But like I said, I'm not too worried about it. This is what it looks like when I add all of my ribbons. I have to really work to let you be able to see it. Alright, now I have to decide what I want to do with my sign. I don't think I want to add a bow, so I think I'm going to try to center him. And I don't want this, I don't think. Alright, I'm just going to trim it. And just pull it through. And I can use that for a different wreath. And I also don't want to use this because I have my pipe cleaner, so I'm just going to pull it off. I'm going to use my staple gun and some pipe cleaners. I think the top and the bottom will be the best way to attach it. Oops. Okay. Make sure they're even. Do the same over here. Why is it doing that? I guess I'm just going to attach him to the top here and then put other stuff on the wreath because it's not working in the middle and I don't feel like making any kind of cross right now. So I'm just going to feed this through the mesh to the frame. And attach it. And I'm just twisting it around the bar. Just pulling both sides so I don't accidentally pull it too far to one side. Alright. It's a little different than my other wreaths, but that's okay. So I went back and forth with the things in my stash and I don't like anything. So I think I'm just going to leave it like this for now. If I find something later, I can always add it. But this is how I made my very, very large Jack Skellington wreath. It's 32 inches long and about 7 inches deep. So it's a very big wreath. But that's how I made my Jack Skellington wreath. If y'all have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Or you can email me at craftingwithlee@yahoo.com. Thank you so much for watching. And if y'all learned anything today or like my video, please like, share, subscribe. Be sure to leave a comment if you have any questions about joining my wreath group. It's only $1.99 a month and I would love to see you there. Thank you. Bye.